historically, condos and townhomes are always at the end of a cycle. That's historically. That's the way it was in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, 2000s. It's because, again, the market responds to a lower price. They want to build things that people can buy and own and things that they can sell. And so there's a cycle, and condos are traditionally, and townhomes are traditionally at the tail end of a cycle because of affordability. There is a difference this time around, and to your point, I do think that the need is different. Like if you're if you're single and you're in your 30s, you don't really want a 3,000 square foot home with a big yard and all the extra expense. You're better off to be in a high rise,
I have to laugh because my stepson just bought a house and he has like this small little yard and we go over there and it's been 2 months and the grass is like up to here.
It was up to my
And
knees.
he
I'm like, dude, you got to mow your lawn.
and he thinks he's just gonna get a mower and just push it through all that.
I'll just knock that out. I'm like, okay, first time, first timer.
Yeah.
But he beat the curves. He's in his late 20s.
He is, but it's just funny because it's that kind of stuff, the responsibility of things like a yard and that a lot of people don't want on top. If you're a single person, I mean, a condo affords you plenty of space.
He has no clue what it's going to take to manage that house.
So,
it's just, I remember my first house. I was like, what? I mean, all the little things, the maintenance guy, the landscaper, the hot water tank, the water softener, the appliance repair guy, like whatever it is, like it just ka-ching, 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 right?
Yeah, totally. And I also think there's something interesting that wasn't happening before. And now they're doing these build to rent communities. So they're essentially saying, okay, apartment renter, I know you want a yard. I know you want a garage. I know you're having kids and you want a home. So I'm going to rent a home to you so you don't have to buy it because you can't afford to buy it or because you want to be more fluid. So that's a new thing that's happening. Build to rent is these communities are fairly a new thing.
I've watched these for years, actually. I was around them in Vegas. And ironically, build to rent actually came out of Arizona. A couple guys that I know, and it's really smart. And then it became so popular that the home builders have jumped in. And however, one big home builder just sold off their multifamily division for a huge loss recently. I don't know if you know that. Not everybody's equipped for it. There's a science to it, just like anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not a slam dunk for sure.
You never know. But if you can get 6 or 7 units on an acre, single level, you're pretty good.
Do they have different, because you would know this, do they have different standards as far as zoning if it's build to rent?
100%. Yeah, it's a really good question. Okay. So here's the thing. There's the factors are the land cost plus the construction cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
So typically, a developer tries to maximize the number of units on an acre. And I would say a number is somewhere between 15 to 17 units per acre is kind of the number. So in this particular case, it might be half. And a build-to-rent, it might be half. The difference is, in a lot of build-to-rents, you don't have an upstairs neighbor, right? And you also have a garage. So with the apartments, you'll have 16 or 17 per acre. You'll have 2-story, your walk up, you've seen it, you park under your carport, and those are usually around the outside, what we call the perimeter parking, right? And now what you're starting to see as the build-to-rents, a lot of times, sometimes they have carports, but sometimes they have garages. You put garages on those, then of course it reduces the amount of units you can put on an acre, as an example. When you start to do a townhome, it's a little bit easier to put a garage in there because now you're walking up stairs, and you can typically do the garage on the first floor, where you park in the garage and then you enter and you go straight up the stairs. You guys have probably seen those. We've done those in apartments too. So they're all a little bit different, but the build to rents are traditionally single level, which means that you essentially cut off all the potential for the the units above it. There's no city that's actually going to say, we don't want you to go 2-story. Like they like it, they like 2-story, right? And so what you'll find is a perfect build to rent site would be to buy like a mobile home community, and to convert that over to build to rent as an example. So traditionally, build to rent is on the outside of town, on the edge of town, where land's a little bit cheaper. Because again, the math is land plus construction, but they've held their values extremely well. But again, if you buy 20 acres, you might get 150, 200 units on that. Whereas, if we bought 20 acres, we might do 300 units.
So say people are buying in these starter home communities, and, we both have agreed that they're kind of more on the edge of town because land's cheaper. If there were to be a cycle change and a correction, these kind of areas do get hit the hardest, though, right? Traditionally?